Cardfight Club. The first rule of Cardfight Club, you don't talk about Cardfight Club. What's going on, Cardfight community? OMG Josh here today, and I'm with Matt, and we're going to show you his Shadow Paladin Luard deck profile. Take it away, Matt.
What's going on, guys? I always start with David. I do not like the grade 3 searcher. Again, he's a counterblast, and you don't always get that guaranteed grade 3. David's a great starter. That's what I go with. The other grade 0 I run, Now, she's really good. When you're at Ritual 3, so if you have 3 grade 1s in the discard pile, you can tap her and give +4 to any one of your rear guards. I'll go into her a little later. Moving on to the grade 3s, obviously the best card in the deck. Run 4 Luards. No, not much else I can say about that. Run 4. If you're having trouble calling out stuff, she's good early game because she's not restricted. Counterblast 1, call out 2 zeros. Again, I do like to run 2 zeros in my deck, so she's really good. And then again, getting out the Belial Owls early. We'll go into the crit triggers later. Last but not least, I do run 1 Diablo. He's good if you need to punish your opponent for not leaving out enough rear guards, so you can go into obviously a stride. He's just to punish your opponent, really. That's all he's for. Next, moving on to the grade 2s, I run 3 Morfessa. She gets -1 in your discard pile, so she helps you out with Ritual. She also is, when she attacks your Vanguard and you're at Ritual 3, she gets +5, so she really helps you hit that 21k column without having to waste things. 3's enough. Alright. Next, we're going to him. He is, when you call him, Soul Blast 1, retire 1 card in the same column, and you draw a card. He is, I normally mostly use him for his +2, so he's an 11k swinger. By himself. Shadow Paladins have a really hard time gaining a lot of pressure, so if you only get 1 card to gain pressure with, at least it's something. That's what I use him for, mostly the 11k. Last but not least, I like to run, I'm a very defensive player, so the early 10k bodies, you can run any 10k bodies. That's just my personal preference as far as lineup. Next, moving on to the grade 1s, pretty much what Shadow Paladins use the most. Grade 1s, 2 Swordbreaker, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, run 2. She gets a little clunky at 3. I would only run 2. The best one in the deck, well, I guess it's debatable, but he just helps search out that early Luard if you draw a bad grade 3. Also, when you retire him, if you have a Luard, you get to counter charge. You really need him. You counterblast a lot, so he's your unflipper. The PG I like to run, the Ritual 1, you can pretty much just loop him, so you almost have a PG every turn. Karma Collector is good for the unflips, but this kind of guarantees you a PG every turn. I would run this every time. My next one, I do run 2 Sharons. She helps out my columns when I can't get a David out, or even with the David, it still will get me a good number like 16 or 17. She's a good retire 2 for your restander. She's okay. And then 2 Stride Fodders. You gotta stride once, and then after that you can Ritual Stride for the rest of the game. Plus she's a 7k body, not bad. Triggers. This should be a Raven. I do not like the stand trigger. It's nice if you get it off, but for the most part, I have plenty other cards. Raven needs to go in there for him. 4 heal triggers. 3 Howl Owls. I like to run 3 to make room for a stand. Plus, I need it to go to Soul because I run out of Soul in this deck a lot. That's pretty much why that's in there. And then 8 crit triggers. Obviously the Belials are they're just too good. You have to run 4, never run less than 4. Moving on to the strides. I do like to run 2 Drag Driver. Now, a lot of people don't like to run Drag Driver. If you get matched up against decks that like to retire, he'll at least get you that call, and then he's on stride, so you can then call him, Soul Blast 1, call out, and then use Luard's ability. That's why I like to use that card. Other than that, he's okay at 2. He might be good later. Next, I'm probably looking to run more Doomed. He's just too good. I would almost replace him, but I just feel like Drag Driver is just a necessity. But again, this is super common. You know why I run them. I can't get enough of this card. This card causes me to win plenty of games. That's why I run 4. I see a lot of people running 2. I can't ever justify not running 4. That might change. I run 1 of him. He's such a heavy cost with counterblasts that if I run 2, I feel like I'll run out of counterblasts. So that's why I run 1. I usually like to use him early, but he's really good. Obviously, he's your standard. Your GB8. He's a GB8. I almost want to bump him to 2 because I feel like there's times when I'll get him out there, I'll get really big columns, but my opponent's able to guard, but they won't be able to guard again. He's just retired, pretty much blows up your opponent's field, and you can get to call out a full field. He's really good. And last but not least, he doesn't have any counterblast, but he's a retire 1, so he's a free retire if you really need to get that going, and then your opponent chooses 2 cards. He's just a 2 retire if you really need it. If you're really down, he's not bad. 1 Sea Breeze for obvious reasons. And then my G Guardians, I run 2 of him. He's Ritual 3, gains +10. He's probably the easiest +10 as far as G Guardians go. I do like to run 1 of her. Now she's the flip G Guard, and she's okay. She's kind of just a fish for more cards with the heal trigger. I don't find myself using her a lot. And then my last G Guardian is just my early G Guardian. I like to use him. What he does is it's just discard and draw. It really helps you discard a grade 1 to draw another card, and helps you put you in ritual early. Okay. The thing that I do differently from everybody else is this card. And why I like this card so much is she issues a +4K to any of your rear guards. Now what that means is that if you have, let's say, an 11 and a 7 out there, you're sitting at an 18. If you issue 4K to both of these guys, that puts you at a 26. That's a good column for Shadow Paladins because you have a really tough time getting to big numbers with Shadow Paladins. And then again, you're just tapping, so again, it's pretty much a free 26K column. The next thing I like to do is, if you were to, let's say, have columns like this out there. Okay, so you're both sitting at a 17. I tap it, I gain +4 here, +4 here. So that puts them at a 14. +7, 21. You now have free 21K columns. This is why I like this card. The best part about it is Luard can recycle it back in your deck. She's a normal unit. He can call her out. This is my tech. Tech to deck. Yeah. This is obviously she has blue hair, and I like blue hair. She's really good. Would she put you over the top? Sometimes. But that's pretty much my Diablo profile. Luard Diablo, excuse me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. If you like the profile, like us. If you like the profile again, subscribe us and comment down below. Thanks for tuning in. This has been a Cardfight Club.